everybody.
Hi.
We're so excited. We are live. Let's all introduce ourselves. So I'm Kyle Therese Cranston. I'm a psychic medium. And yeah, that's all. That's all I got.
Well, I guess since I'm the new kid on the block, or the guest kid on the block, I'm Deborah Rahalski, cosmic adventurer. That wouldn't fit in the little name thing, so I put astrologer because that's what I do. I use the energy of the stars to create cosmic maps for people to help them navigate some of the challenges in their life and understand how to use the energy that we're experiencing in a moment.
And I am Shaun Mathieu. I am a psychic medium and eclectic witch based out of Los Angeles, California. That was also way too long to put in the little name thing.
I love it. So I'm excited today because Deborah said she's guest hosting with us today, and she's going to pull astrology cards. I just love learning about astrology. I mean, I feel like I learn something every time I talk to you. So it's pretty
Yeah, I just saw this really fascinating. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is the Astrology Guy. He's brilliant. His first name, interestingly enough, is also Shaun.
Nice.
This young man is absolutely brilliant, and he has a way of like just paring down what can be very complex. And the astrology we're dealing with right now is very complex and very dynamic, and paring it down to like these real essentials. And like for people to know, like we have this, if you will, convergence of we have a new moon coming up. We're in the last stages of the previous moon phase. This new moon is going to have seven planets in the sign of Aries: the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron. And astrologers are saying they can't find another time when there's been a new moon. It's certainly not I don't know if it's just specifically Aries, but a new moon like this where so many planets are all clustered together. And then close to that, you've got Venus and Uranus and Taurus just one sign away. And so it's really, really powerful. There's like this feeling of something's coming, something big is coming, something big is happening. And it's this push of like, as if all of the stuff we've been through since around, depending how far back you want to track some of the cycles, but around 2018 in particular, pre-pandemic, when things were really starting to build up and move in this direction for this pattern to exist. The things the things that have been shown to us, revealed to us, the things that within ourselves, the growth we've been pushed to have. And so now it's like, it's go time. This is in Asian astrology, this is the year of the fire horse. And it's time to get on that horse and go, but you've got to be traveling light. You know, if you're riding on a fire horse, you're blazing forward. You do not want to be carrying a lot of baggage. So, you know, you put whatever you need in those saddlebags and backpack and you go. And with the understanding that the universe is going to provide the necessities that you need ahead, you just take what you need personally, your tools, your gifts, your wisdom. Right. So it's traveling light, but it's challenging because right now this new moon is like, what do you really want to say yes to? Something that you have to feel like you're like, you need the courage to say, wow, I really want to say yes to this. But in order to say yes, we also have to say no to something. Mm-hmm. We have to say no to the things that are like, oh, you know, but you could just keep, you know, stick with this or do this, or something comes up and it's like, well, yeah, that'd be safer to do. So it's like, what are we saying yes to? What are we saying no to? And what are we bringing forward with us? And what are we not taking forward with us? So that, like in a nutshell, is like what we're dealing with this new moon coming up. So this is a great time to be talking about astrology and fitting it into the readings, because I've followed a bunch of the times that you guys have been on, and it's brilliant. So I'm excited to do this, to pull cards for people. Yeah.
We're excited to have you.
We are.
Do you think, so this is like a random question. So do you think like all this stuff going on in Aries right now, because Aries is such a charged, you know, I feel like a lot of the Aries people I know are like really like fiery, that this might be like what kind of like ushers us into the beginnings of the golden future?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that astrologers talked about, particularly coming up to this, is a conjunction is when two planets come together, and Saturn and Neptune, which they do form a conjunction every 30 some odd years, and they've been conjunct in Aries. but this time the conjunction was at 0 degrees of Aries. 0 degrees of Aries is, for Western astrology, the very beginning of the zodiac cycle. Aries is the first sign in the cycle. That's why Aries energy can be kind of impulsive, like, let's go, let's do this. It's like that. It's like the Fool card in Tarot. Let's go, let's jump into this, right? Sometimes a little impulsive. But to have Saturn and Neptune come together at 0 degrees of Aries, it really is. I keep, whenever I talk about it, I hear that song from Aladdin, A Whole New World. You know, it's like, but in order for all this new to come in, the reason it's so chaotic is because a lot of stuff that has been hanging in there and does not belong in this new world energy and that high vibe of like the global community and the oneness and the up level of consciousness and the greater connection to divine love and abundance and flow. There's a lot of old systems that just have to fall away. So it gets kind of chaotic. It can get very chaotic. So, you know, again, the fire horse, one of the things I've been telling people is people are like so used to like slogging through this stuff that, you know, it's like me on a hike, chugging up that trail, right? And the fire horse is here to say, hey, let me carry you through some of this with some ease and grace. Like, you've got this, you've earned this, you know? So the fire horse is like recognizing that spirit can kind of really carry you through this. Doesn't mean we don't still have to do some of the work. We really do have to do our own inner work, but it's also not getting caught up in the external chaos and the fear, you know, because the fear mongering is like, ooh, you know, we need to, you know, stock food, or, you know, all of the fair things that are like change is happening. And, you know, in some cases, the messages are like, we have to stop this change, as opposed to, no, we have to embrace the change and go with the change. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I got some people starred for readings.
Ooh.
I love that little, yeah, I got some stars. And put your questions in the chat if you want to get a reading. So,
oh, you're somebody in from Sydney, Australia.
That's awesome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right. Lotus of Serendipity. What message would my soul like me to know as far as the next couple of months? Awesome. Oh, I love that.
So I'm going to go first because this card like literally jumped out of the deck. So I'm using Heather Roan Robbins' absolutely beautiful Star Codes Astro Oracle. This is the pocket version. It's the little cards because I'm traveling, so I have that. And I'm just using for today's reading just the planetary cards to sort of pull with that. And the card that came out for this querent is the sun. And it's the sun, the card is so beautiful. It's a sunburst and all the rainbow colors around it. And to me, the sun, your sun sign in astrology, is about the personality, the way in which your moon energy is your soul energy, but the sun energy is how it shines through. It's the way we let our light shine into the world. And so the question so beautifully phrased of what does my soul want me to know? Show up as yourself. Be yourself. Do the things that make you feel, thinking of you, Shaun, I remember you talking about Shiny Shaun, you know, that make you feel, you know, when you do something and you're just like, oh, wow, I am so freaking proud of myself, or that just feels so good. You know, it's those, or you hang out with people who really see your light, who really bring that up. That's the soul is saying, do more of that.
All right, so I ended up pulling 3 cards. So the first card, I'm using 2 decks, by the way. I'm going wild and crazy. So I'm using Radley Valentine's Angel Wisdom Tarot, which is my go-to. And then I'm also using the Magical Unicorns Oracle deck, which I won't say who made the deck, but yeah, it's a wonderful deck though. I love the art in it. So the first card that I pulled was the Queen of Air. Now, for me, I feel this has to do with you releasing a situation or persons that no longer serve you. Like they are holding you back. They're a little toxic, and you need to kind of put them away, or separate yourself from them as much as possible if you can. Now, the next card that came up, though, was the King of Fire. Now, what popped out to me was at the top of his throne, there is a sun.
Ooh.
And so it's more of that sun energy. And I feel this has to do with you keeping your eyes on the big picture, you know, keeping your eyes on the sun, not directly, of course, because that would hurt your eyes. But yeah, I feel it's about keeping the eye on the bigger picture. Then the unicorns, they had this to say: what you're doing is worth waiting for. Keep being patient. So let go of the things and people that no longer serve you, because right now you're as powerful as the sun, and what you're waiting for is on the way.
I love that. These are awesome. I'm using a bunch of different decks, but for this one, I always just go like my guide tells me which ones to pull from. So I'm using the John Holland's, the Spirit Messages. So I love using messages from Spirit. And then I am also using my go-to, Riley Valentine's Angel Wisdom Tarot. That's my go-to. And then since Lotus asked about her soul, I'm using Denise Lynn's Soul Coaching. Where's my box for it? Here we go. Denise Lynn's Soul Coaching Oracle. So the first one I got is, this is from the Spirit. So like, just stay connected. So this is saying that your soul wants you to really work on your spiritual practice, because they want you to stay, your soul wants you to stay connected to the divine and connect to your spirit team. It's going to help you whenever we connect to our spirit team, it kind of helps us with what's going on in the real world. So, and I also feel like this has a dual message about connecting to your community too. And then I got, which kind of goes along with like the sun that you both have, is pleasure. This is the soul coaching card. So this is enjoying things, like trying to enjoy life and find like the, if you're struggling with something, trying to focusing on the good, which is easier said than done. I am not judging here. But trying to just find like the little things that bring you pleasure or gratitude that can help lift your spirits and also raise your vibration. And another message too that I got is, I love this card, the Six of Earth. So I feel like this is telling you to be open to receive. I feel like you're a big giver and you give and give and give and give, but you have a hard time receiving, which I do too. I am so bad at asking for help. So it's telling you to be open and let people do things for you without feeling like you have to pay them back, because you deserve it. So that's what I got. Hope that resonates, Lotus. Oh, she just wrote, the messages resonate so much. Awesome. Okay. Now we have a mediumship reading. Woot, woot.
Ooh.
Mediumship reading. There we go. I always use Angel Wisdom Tarot for mediumship. Okay. This is my grandpa. Where's Grandpa?
So I'm going to start again first because I had another jumper card just flew right out. So Grandma really wanted to speak up, and I don't know if you know if you know what her time of year was born or anything, but the card that came out is Saturn. Now I'm smiling because this is a mediumship reading, and Saturn is all about karmic connections, past life connections. So clearly the connection between you and your grandma goes beyond this life. It also speaks to Saturn is the time lord in the astrological wheel, but also one of the things about learning to work with time is learning to play with time, bend time, and jump time. And of course, we know that once we cross over to the other side, time has no meaning. Like everything is eternal. And so and in this particular drawing of Saturn, there's the rings around it, which look like the gears of a clock. But in the center, there's this beautiful little sphere in the center. And to me, I feel like that is your grandmother saying, "I'm right here. I'm right here right here in that center of your being."
What I got, first of all, Whispers, hello, welcome. Did your grandmother drive like sort of like a boxy car? It might have been like a dark gray, and has four doors. It's almost like one of those older sedans. I picked up on that for some reason. I'm not sure why. But when I used the cards to connect, the first card that came up was the Empress. And I love this card because it's about, legacy and family and nurturing the young. And she's holding the cute little baby unicorn, which I love. But that's what I got from it. Also, it's time for action. Whatever, if you've been waiting to start a new project or something, now is the time to do it. But I also feel there's so much love in your family lineage. That's what really popped out when I got the next card. Love from your parents. And, in the Radley Valentine deck, there's not unicorns on every card. In this one, there is, but you have a lot of unicorn energy in this way. I feel like there's a lot of love that your parents have for you that I don't know them. I don't know if they display that, but regardless, it is there. And don't forget that.
She did confirm that she had a gray car.
Okay. Cool.
So I got whatever your grandma was suffering from, she is when we go on the other side, we heal. Sometimes it takes us a little bit longer depending on how like ill we were, but she's healed. Like she's done a lot of healing over there and is in just in a really good place. And there's a lot of love that's coming from her. If you can see that heart right there, that heart is just glowing to me. And there's just a lot of love coming from her to you. She is also telling me that I keep hearing personal power. So I got the strength card and I keep hearing personal power. And I feel like there's times in your life or people in situations where you're giving your power away. And she's telling you to stop doing that and take your power back. And also have compassion for yourself for doing it in the first place, because we all do it. She just wants to remind you just what a lioness you are. And then I feel like there's something really good coming for you during the sign of Leo. So like, what's that, July, like what, 20th, 22nd, 21st, 22nd through August. So because I got two different lions. There's a lion on this card, and then I got the King of Earth, and his chair has lion faces. And those are what jumping out at me. I feel like there's an opportunity for you, like for a financial abundance during that time of Leo. So I would watch for that. That's what I got.
The connection, astrological connection to that too, because the card that I pulled for as an overall card for us before we began was Jupiter, which is currently in the sign of Cancer, but it's going to move into Leo around also around that time. And when Jupiter's in Leo, when the abundance is there, sometimes we have to have the courage of it. We have to have the brave heart to bravely accept it, to go after it, to say yes to it, or to basically say to the universe, this is what I want, this is what I need, so that the universe can bring it to us. So that sense of Jupiter moving in Leo is an invitation to be more courageous. That totally aligns with the lions.
Ah, I just feel like during for Lionsgate would be a really good manifesting day.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially this year. All right. Ooh, another mediumship reading. Essence of Ethereal Serenity. May I ask for a message from Mother Mary? Okay,
Mother Mary, interesting.
I've never gotten Mother Mary before. I will try.
I will try as well.
Mary.
For me, astrologically, I'm not even going to pull a card. I'm just going to go with the two planets right now. There are only 2 energy points that are currently in. So Mary is commonly associated with the energy of Pisces, which is also the 2 fishes, which is also the energy connected to Jesus. But Mother is so closely connected, of course, to Yeshua. And what I was drawn to is to immediately I saw the blue and the Pisces and the fish, and the moon is the astrological connection to Mother. So I'm thinking of that Mother Mary as that being. But the other planet that is in Mercury, right, is in Pisces right now, is Mercury. And Mercury is our personal energy. And Mercury moving through Pisces right now is saying, watch your thoughts. What are you thinking about yourself that is not? What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? What are you thinking about the situations that are happening that are putting you in a state of fear? What thoughts, listen to the way you talk to yourself. Are your thoughts compassionate and kind? Would you talk to other people the way that you are talking to yourself or thinking about yourself or thinking about situations? And then I can hear, Mother Mary comes to me.
That's in my head too.
Words of wisdom, let it be. We think, I think about the Dalai Lama, who always said, somebody asked him, like, how do you, he says, of course, do you not worry? He says, of course I worry. He said, but when I worry, I ask myself this, is this thing that I'm worried about or focused on, that has my attention, is it something that I have any control over? Is there anything I can do about it? If not, it's out of my hands. I have to just, just let it go, let it be. If it is, then what is the one thing I can do? Something small, something simple. What is the next step? So for me, Mother Mary is just reassuring, sending this beautiful, compassionate, beautiful flowing water energy and like wrapping you in this that beautiful signature blue light of hers and saying, you are a child of the divine. You are being held. You are loved.
I have a question for you, Deborah, because I'm focused on in the ego card. I don't know if you can see. What astro sign is that?
That looks like the sign for Capricorn.
I have never.
I'm thinking it's the sign for Capricorn, okay. Which the ego card is the devil card. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah. The card, the astrological symbol associated with that is Capricorn. And in many ways, again, the ego, what is the ego saying? The ego is talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Free yourself from that talk.
Trying to keep you small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what I got was very interesting. I used the unicorn card first, and I got one step at a time. And I think this has to do with a journey that you're on. It might not be about actually a project or anything, but like, coming to terms with something and having to accept it one little step at a time. It's a big change. And then the card that followed it was the Four of Earth. Now, in this deck, I actually love all of the Earth cards. But this one, I feel it has to do with seeing things as black or white. And the important thing is, those aren't the only 2 colors. We have all the shades of gray in between, and then all the other hues. It's important to see like things from different people's viewpoints, see how they would be looking at the same situation, and then weigh your own emotions with it. But I do feel this has to do with a some type of emotional journey. Things are going to happen one step at a time. And just remember to see all the colors, and don't think of everything as just having 1 or 2 or even 3 options. There's lots of options. And that's very, very important.
So this is so interesting because I got the first card I got, the message I'm getting has nothing to do with the card. That's why I love using this deck for mediumship. So I got the Two of Air, which is the Two of Swords, but I'm not getting any of that message. All I'm focused is on the blue. And to me, like that's Mother Mary. Like Deborah said, that's her blue color. And blue is also communication. So what I'm getting is that you can communicate with Mother Mary and finding ways to connect with her. And I would suggest getting a Mother Mary deck and opening up communication with her. She's willing to communicate with you. Number two, to me, number two is our partnerships. So if you want to talk to her, she's there. And if you want to do it through cards, I'm sure there has to be a Mother Mary deck out there. There's an Australian lady that does card decks. I can't think of her name. I feel ignorant because she's really huge. And I think she might have a Mother Mary deck. So
there's definitely decks out there. I've seen like at least 4, but I don't think I have any of them. I do have a Mary Magdalene deck though. That's cool.
That might be the one I'm thinking of. This lady does a Mary Magdalene deck, but she's in Australia. She's really cool. I follow her. I can't think of her name. I'm blanking on it. And then I also got the Ego card, and like that's also like Capricorn, and I'm really focused on the Capricorn symbol. And I think she's saying that you work too hard, like you have too much work and no play in your life, and like you feel trapped, like you have to work super hard. So finding ways to have more fun in your life would really help just elevate you and help, like I said earlier, raise your vibration. And
yes, working too hard is a Capricorn trait.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of all the Capricorns in my life who all work too hard.
I'm a Capricorn sun, and when I'm focused, like I am focused. Like I'm like, leave me alone. I'm focused on this project. Everyone leave me, and then I get irritated if people like interrupt me. And then I also got, this is awesome, that I got the 10 of water. So I feel like she's telling you that everything's going to work out. If you have something going on in your life right now that you're struggling about, did you get that too?
Look, no, but we both have rainbows on our card.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I love it. And Jophiel, Archangel Jophiel, that things are going to work. If you're struggling with something right now, I feel like things are going to work out, because it's like, this is like the happily ever after card. Like this is this is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck. I just love this card. It just makes me so happy to see this card. So I feel like there's, like things are going to work out, that she's trying to give you the message there. So hopefully that resonates. And let's go on to the next one. Let's see. We got message from guides for the next month. From guides. Message from guides for the next month.
So the astrology message, the card that came up is Neptune. I love this card with the beautiful blue. And that Neptune really is that deep blue colorway out in space. And Neptune is connected to the sign we were just talking about, Pisces. So I almost feel like there's a little bit of Mother Mary energy sort of flowing into this. But Neptune is this realm of mystery. It's connected to Pisces, the last sign in the zodiac. It's all the mystery and the wonder and the wisdom and the unknown. It's the depth of wisdom that an energy that we access when we really go deep with our spiritual practice. Neptune has been in its ruling sign of Pisces. It was in that ruling sign for like the last 12, 13 years, moving through that. And there was a lot of it. Also, Neptune will also reveal and shatter illusions. It will wake us up when we are like believing in something that is an illusion. That there's a difference between having a dream and believing in an illusion. And you look at a lot of the things on a global scale that we've been like, oh wait, what? This has been happening behind the scenes. But now Neptune is in Aries, and Neptune is in Aries. I had this insight the other day when I was walking. It was like it struck me so much. I like stopped in my tracks and went, wow. And to me, Neptune in Aries is all about action. It's, as we said earlier, it's a dynamic sign. So Neptune is spiritual mastery, living your spiritual values, living from your spirit, living from spiritual truth, living from your beliefs. And we are actually always living from our beliefs, which I follow the Course in Miracles, and all our beliefs fall into one of two buckets: fear, so anything sourced from fear, which is all of the human and the ego, which we were talking about the ego card earlier, or love, anything that peace, harmony, that sense of oneness, that connection, faith, all of those things that come from that vibration of love. It's one or the other. If you take any emotion and you follow it down to its track, you'll see it tracks to one of those others. So Neptune in Aries is saying, be mindful, be aware, like the light of the fire is like shining this light. It's like illuminating. It's this bright fire of almost sort of burning through any of the old illusions, but being aware of what belief, like if I'm thinking this thought, we were talking about managing our thoughts. If I have this thought, where's it coming from? Like, what do I have to believe about myself, other people, my connection to the universe, spirit? Am I held by the universe? So Neptune, the word on the card for Neptune actually says vision. So Aries is all about living your spiritual truth, putting the spirit into practice, walking the talk, being the person that you are from the inside, from that belief.
I love it. I just put up the banner because we have a bunch of questions in the queue, so I just put up the banner for no more questions. So it's awesome. I love like when you read, because I'm learning all these different astrology things as you're reading today. So it's really cool. Go ahead, Jen.
So the one I got was the King of Earth, which I love this card in this deck. To me, for you, this means the guides want you to know that everything is going to turn out great. It's going to turn out better than you expected. It's going to be a time of great prosperity and abundance on all wonderful fronts. And then the next card I got, this was interesting. So it's the Just Be Yourself card, which I think everyone needs to remember to be themselves. But the message I got from this card has more to do with travel. I think there's going to be some really fun travel things going on in like next 6 to 8 weeks for you. One of them might be work related, but I have a feeling one or two of them are not work related. They're just fun excursions. And I think you need that to feed your soul, like absolutely 100%. And it kind of helps just highlight how great things are, or how great they are on the way to be.
So I feel like, have you been feeling kind of burned out lately? Because I got the 4 of Earth, and I'm feeling like this is all about like managing your resources. And I feel like I don't feel like it's money. I feel like it's your personal resources, like your reserves, like you're just kind of burned out, whether it's with work or with a situation. But I feel like in May, there's going to be some relief coming towards that, because I'm looking at like the emerald here. And that's always screams May to me. And they're also telling you to really find your center and try to get grounded when you start. These cards are shiny, so I apologize. But like find your center and just get grounded when you start to really feel like off balance. I think that's going to help you with the burnout. And when you get anxious, just like focusing on like, feeling grounded using grounding techniques, whether it's breathing or imagining your, your legs are going into the earth, or you're a tree, however you get grounded. And then to piggyback off of what Shaun said, there is something really cool coming your way, because I got the Page of Cups, and that's all about like a cool like opportunity coming your way. It could be something creative, or it could be something in the realm of love, but it's like something that you thought wouldn't happen. Because this is like the card, it's like about like, oh, when pigs fly, but the pigs can fly. And they will fly. So if there's something that a dream you've been wanting to come true, like Deborah said, you have to meet the universe halfway. So start working toward that dream, because there's a lot of potential for it to come true right now. And that's what I got. And let's see who's next.
And I saw also too that Lotus of Serendipity posted a thank you for the kindness and support, that the messages resonate. So Lotus, we're happy that connected for you.
Thanks for letting us know too. It's always nice. My guys will get the house of my dreams. Okay. House of my dreams. I'm actually going to go to this guy. House of your dreams.
Deborah, you want to start us off?
Sure. So it's interesting that the astrology card that I pulled is the moon. And the word is on the moon card is perception. But it also brought to my mind the major arcana card, because when we talk about timing things, a lot of times the major arcana card, I'm thinking what card will come up, what is it connected to? And I think about the moon. And as we all know, the moon in tarot talks about hidden influences and things that are not yet known. The other thing to me about the moon is there's always the two dogs that are sitting there, the wild dog and the domesticated dog. And the thing is, what I was getting, and my guides are like, you see the question. So they're basically, there's a question when, and then there's the immediate insertion of doubt and if I will get my house. So the guides are saying, if you want the house of your dreams, take the if out of it. Ask, when will I get my house of dreams? Because, and this is not to be judgmental about it, but this is, we do this. We're like, when will I get it? If I'm going to get it, we do that because we're just like, can I really have the house of my dreams? So it's all about that perception of to claim the house of your dreams, or any dream that we want, anything of our dreams. We take the if out of it, and then we move to the when. So then the question is, when to get the house of dreams, and what can you do? Well, the guides are always like, timing is so hard for us, with it, not hard, but in the sense that what seems like soon on the other side can be a year and a half for us, or 6 years, or because we have this linear time experience, where on the other side it's like, oh, the house of your dreams is already there. It's a matter of what are you doing to move towards it. And to me, the question to ask yourself is to focus on, how will you feel? How will you feel? And I love that it's peace, love. Okay, peace, love. To have the house of your dreams is peaceful. It's oh, I'm home. That is peace, love, for sure, right? Focusing on how you will feel when you get the house of your dreams, when you're finally living in the house of your dreams, not focusing on the if, when, how, or why, or the if or when or all of that. But if you start to focus on how you feel when you're in the house of your dreams, when you wake up in the morning, no matter what your situation is, before you open your eyes, you just say, it feels so good to be home in this house of my dreams. The more you focus on that feeling, because the moon is all about emotions and really connecting to that, the more that dream can come towards you. And once you identify the feeling, you start to look for things that you can do in your day that will make you that bring that feeling. For some people, find a location. We all are connected to someone who had to make a move a while ago, and their first choice in terms of where to move was to just be someplace where they could feel where the living situation was stable. Where they were like, I'm out of the situation I was in, and I want to be in a nice, stable situation. And they've since moved from that home to another home, and this is the home that they're really happy in, right? So it's that sometimes we focus on one particular feeling because this is what I need right now, but the real feeling, that was the right house or the right move for them at that time. But where they are now is the place of their dreams, because now they're settled. They had to stabilize themselves. So what does it feel like? What is it, and what are other things in your life that bring you that feeling? Do you feel where you're living right now is really sort of cluttered and you want more space? What does having more space feel like? Does it feel, exciting? I can decorate, or does it feel liberating? Could it be that you've moved a lot and what you want is stability? So focus on the feeling and really hone into that in the morning when you wake up, and when you go to bed at night, go to sleep and say, I am so grateful that soon I will be going to sleep in the house of my dreams. Or you can really visualize, I'm going to sleep in the house of my dreams. And then really focus on the feeling of what that's going to feel like, because the moon is saying it's the emotion that's going to bring this house to you.
Deborah, I agree completely with all of that. I love it. And I love being able, when you do have that gratitude type of energy, you do get more stuff attracted to you. That's just how it works. And I think, even if like one's current environment is not ideal, there are ways to bring that feeling in, and that will propel you into the next place. Now, the cards that I picked, okay, the short answer about your dream house is yes, you are going to get your dream house. Knight of Water in this deck is the wishes come true card. So yes, you will definitely be getting your dream house. Short answer. Now, the next card I pulled I thought was really interesting because you got the healer card. And I feel it's a two-way message. I feel either you yourself are some type of healer, either in the spiritual arts or in the medical field. I feel that's your profession, or you help assist in it in some way. So I feel wherever you're going to be, it's going to be connected to something where you can keep doing your healing work. And it won't be like, say, won't be an hour commute. It'll be like maybe a 20-minute commute or something like that. It's going to be far enough away that you can play hooky from work anytime you want, but it'll be close enough that you could get there quite easily in rush hour traffic. Now, as far as time goes, so I pulled another card just specifically for time, and I got the Seven of Earth. Now, to me, when I focus on the seven, I don't think it's in 7 days from now. I don't think it's 7 weeks from now. I don't think it's July. I think it could be anywhere from 7 months to, on the really long forefront, 7 years, if you want some type of a ballpark frame of time. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's anything shorter than that. I think 7 months would be the soonest, but I think 7 years would be the farthest away.
I got a 7 too.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I actually switched decks, and I did Bradley Valentine's Archangel Michael Sword of Light. And I got the put your creative energy into action, which is 25 reduces to 7. And in angel numerology, 7 is also your life path too. So you're meant to find this house. But what Deborah said about like feeling like how you want to feel, I would do like create a vision board of the place you and think about like how you want to feel in that house, like the different things you want the house to have, like make your wish list and do it on a vision board and look at it every night before you go to sleep and every morning when you wake up, and really like use that creativity to really manifest this house and like and communicate like what Deborah said, like you already have, like it's coming any day now. I feel like that communication, it's going to like, you know, help you manifest it. And then I feel like there's going to be more than one option for a house. And I feel like you're not going to get your first choice, but I feel like it's going to be for the best. And it's going to end up being better than you thought. Cause I got the Knight of Air, and that's telling me that like, reviewing your options carefully. So I wonder if there's going to be like a first choice that you really want and it falls through, but it ends up being for the best because maybe that area, their taxes spike up really high, you find out about, or the house ends up having like some kind of issue that you didn't know. And then you're going to end up in something that's for your highest good. So just stay curious and open and just review your options and all paperwork very carefully. And another reason why I think that you're going to end up getting like your second choice, but it's going to end up being for your highest good and you're going to end up loving it because I got the 4 of Cups. And the 4 of Cups is like when you're kind of dissatisfied because it's like she's focusing on the empty bowls, but then look at that beautiful bowl behind her that's so full and that rainbow behind her. So it's like you're focusing on like what you don't have. So that's the ties. So also that ties back to what Deborah said too, is like the gratitude. So focusing on how this is going to happen. It's coming instead of if, and you know, like using those feelings to manifest. And if your first choice doesn't work out, try to stay positive because there's a better option coming for you, and you're going to find out later why. So that's what I got. Oh, next up is our friend Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Oh, hi, Jane.
It's interesting. We have moved into the theme of living situations, home and moving. All right, Jane, what do I have? So Jane, I'm going to start while Kyle's still shuffling.
Go for it.
Just in the interest of time, because I know we have a number of questions coming up too. It's interesting. While I was shuffling, my eyes were drawn to the Jupiter card, which is sitting out. And Jupiter is about opportunity, and it's like accepting the flow, accepting the abundance. It's about expansion. And what I was sensing with that, particularly with the card that I did actually pull from the deck, which was the Sun. And that is, it's like shining that light. Sun, you know, they both of the cards have this beautiful, the sun has the rainbow behind this, the sun's symbol, but it also to me looks a bit like, you know, the magic wand as well, that holding, like it's like holding up a mirror. And you remember those clocks that were like the sunburst clocks that were kind of a thing back, you know, back in the day. And it's I was just hearing sunny days are ahead. Sunny days are ahead. So when you're asking, will I be moving? Jupiter and the Sun are saying, do you want to move? Do you want to move? You know, it's the universe is saying, well, what do you want? Do you want to move? If you're in a situation where it's a little bit more like, you know, we're not sure if we're going to be able to stay, if our lease is going to get renewed or not, then basically it's to take that message of Jupiter. Well, if you are in a situation where it's not your choice whether or not you're moving, Jupiter is bringing in something better than the existing situation. And so when you're asking if you're staying with your current housemate, and if you're moving to a new home together, you know, they're saying, what do you want? What and I understand a lot of times when we're in a situation where we have a co-living situation, whatever the circumstances are, we don't want to put somebody in a position of like, you know, putting them in a position where they have to find someplace because you're ready to be out on your own or what have you. But that we really are with this, all this Aries energy and this starting a new, you know, starting point with Aries, and that spiritual mastery. It really is time to, and not in a demanding way, say this is what I want, but to say what does Jane want? What does Jane want? Does Jane want to move? Does Jane want to stay with the housemate? Does Jane want to have her own space? So it's allowing yourself to sort of explore that and to sort of shine that light of the sun. Sun is also connected in Tarot. Sun is connected to Uriel, right? The Tarot card, the Major Arcana card is connected to Uriel. And I feel like Uriel is offering you the opportunity, if you explore the answers, your authentic, honest answers to those questions without putting in the limitations of like, what does you really want? Uriel and the beneficial energies of Jupiter coming in the sign of Cancer, the sign of home, and hearth and home, is saying there you will have some insights, you will have some epiphanies that will allow you to help make wise decisions that are best for you.
And to step off of what Deborah said, so the first card I picked for you, and don't panic, it's the 5 of Swords, 5 of Air in this tarot deck. For me, what I'm seeing now is that you need to find out exactly what will make you happy. You know, what is it that would be ideal for you? What is it that you want? Now, the next card that came up was the Magician card. You know, there's a lot of magic in your life. You have the power and the ability and the magic in you to discover and find exactly what it is you do and do not want. What I loved about both of these cards together, though, and this is something that's never really popped out at me, we've got 2 different tables. And I feel like the tables represent strength and stability and safety, you know, something that's not going to move. It's going to be, you know, stable for a long time. And, you know, nothing you put on top of the table is going to fall off and break. I feel that is what you're looking for. What would make you happy and what would be the most stable for you? Now, the next card I pulled was interesting. So we have the Finish What You Started card. Now, in regards to your question, I feel it's important to, you know, find the answers of what it is you genuinely want. And also to, you know, if you've already started looking, maybe keep looking a little bit more, you know, keep having the dialogue with the housemate to see if you and them will continue moving forward. But you've got to like kind of address these like hard tackles and see what happens next.
So I do feel like there is a move coming, and I feel like that I'm not sure if it's this current roommate or if you're finding another one, but I feel like you actually really enjoy having a roommate because it helps you because it helps cut on expenses and allows you to kind of like live your best life. Like it allows you to do like all the travel you do. Having someone to share like those house expenses with really helps you kind of keep like money in balance so you can kind of live the life you want to live. So excited. I actually was getting like more of a positive message for the 2 of Earth. And usually it's about like, you know, you're kind of stressed out and you can't balance things. But in this respect, I think you can when you have a roommate. So it helps. And but I'm not getting whether or not it's the same person or if it's someone else, but I do feel like there's a move coming and it is going to be like to a place that's like more stable where I feel like you will be there for a while because like Shaun, like with I don't have a table. Well, I have a drum, but if you see there's 4 staffs here and when the staffs jump out at me or the fire, whatever they're called, the wands that are on fire, they usually mean to me that's like 4, it's like stability, like 4 sides of a table. Mm-hmm. So that really resonated when you said table. So I feel like it's going to be something you really enjoy, something you're really like passionate about. And it's very stable. And I feel like you're actually going to know, because I keep getting the number 4. I feel like you're going to know by the end of this month, or you should know very soon, either 4 weeks or the end of the month. It's coming soon where you're going to have your answer. But I feel like wherever you're going is going to be, it's going to be like really stable, but also like open up your creativity more. I don't know if it's just like the environment change, or if it's like in a complex that just has like more creative people, but there's something that's unlocking something for you. And then I got welcome abundance into your life. So this move is it's like the spirits putting you on a chessboard. They're trying to get you to a different place where I feel like maybe you're saving extra money, or maybe it's like you're meeting new people, but it's getting you somewhere where it's going to bring a ton of abundance. That's what I got. Thanks, Jane, for coming.
Keep us posted, Jane.
Yes, please.
Will my new business venture be successful?
So we had a planetary messenger that was, again, very eager to speak up, and this is Saturn. And when it comes to talking about career, Saturn is, as I talked about, it's there's a lot of people who have kind of a negative perception of the planet Saturn. I love the planet Saturn. I've loved it since I was a kid, before I even did astrology, when I used to, like, stare at the moon, and I found out Saturn had rings and they're so beautiful. I find Saturn fascinating. And Saturn is about structure. While we are experiencing this human experiment, while we are these souls walking around, I mean, we have a physical body so that our soul can, experience this world. And we've just been talking about physical structures, home and house. So everything that we create in this world, it's just a dream and it's just a vision until we create a structure for it. So it's like Saturn is saying, what are you putting in place? What structures are you creating? How are you organizing your time, your energy, your resources? How are you clearing your space and making way for the success of this business? Because with Jupiter having been our overlord card for the entire reading of abundance, Jupiter basically came into this reading saying everybody can have what they want. It's like Oprah. You can have you can have your dream and your dream and your dream and your wish. But Saturn is saying, but you got to make a place for it, right? Got to create the structure for it. So are you organized? Do you have your ducks in a row? Do you have the finances ready? Do you have support? Do you have support team to help you with that, whatever your business venture is? Do you have, a marketing plan in place if it requires that? And then also having a plan. And when you start a new venture, you can only plan so far ahead. You can only sort of, but you can also have a long-term vision of what the end goal is. And then again, I'm just, because I'm thinking about, I keep seeing the rings of Saturn, and I think about how beautiful they are and how the rings of Saturn make me feel. And although Saturn is not usually associated with emotion, it is reminding me to remind you, how will you feel when your business is successful? What will that feel like? And it's, again, practicing that feeling of as you're taking the steps to make this business venture go, that you're finding ways. And there's always, anything time you start something new, there's anticipation, a little anxiety, a little worry, all of that. But also, what is the underlying feeling of, but when I'm through this stage, this is how it's going to feel when it is successful.
The first card that I pulled for you, which I love so much, is the Six of Earth. The good that you put out into the universe comes back to you, and it comes back to you multiplied. What I am seeing here is, like, if you have to do a business loan for something, you're going to find the perfect lender, and it's the interest rate will be low. It will be really, really good. You also are going to have an unexpected flow of customers, an unexpected flow of business. And it will be for the best. It'll be really, really good. The other card I pulled for you is the Imagine card. You've got the little fairy and the unicorn. To echo what Deborah was saying, look, there's a structure on the card. And what I love is both these cards, okay, if you look at them closely, they're both the same time of day. They're both like twilight or dawn, depending how you want to look at it. I feel it's more twilight, which is why I feel there's going to be a surge of business probably in the later part of the year. The twilight of this year of 2026. Or if your business, operates later in the day, twilight is when you're going to be the most busy. I feel that's the time thing is very, very important. The other thing that stood out to me on both cards is all the pink flowers and all the pink in general. Pink can mean a lot of different things. It can mean love. It can mean self-love, prosperity. Archangel Ariel is often associated with pink. Jophiel, she is more associated with fuchsia. And, we've got a little fuchsia fairy right there. There's a lot of angelic energy around what you're doing. And overall, if I had to hedge my bets, and this was Vegas, I would say, yes, your business is going to be successful.
So I got, I feel like you're kind of having with the business, I feel like right now you're kind of having some struggles with it, or it's not flowing as well as you had hoped. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So the first card I got was the moon, and I'm really focused on that river, and I feel like the river's kind of blocked. So I don't know if you're just not getting as many customers as you want right now, or if it's just, it's getting off the ground really slow. But it's saying to let go of that unnecessary worry, and you might need to tweak something. There's something, pay attention, because there's something you might need to tweak that's going to shift everything. And then I also got the 7 of Swords, which makes me wonder if you have a business partner, or if there's somebody maybe an investor that that might need to go, that you might not fully trust, because this is about stealing peace, or maybe they're not pulling their weight, or maybe you have there's someone that works for the business that's not pulling their weight that might need to go. I just feel like there's some kind of tie that might need to be cut, and that might be what needs to be tweaked. Because then I got, I think if you make those shifts and you pay attention to what's not working and you fix them, then I got embrace this magical moment, which is all about you're in the space to manifest. That's why I agree with Shaun. I really do feel like everything's going to be okay. I just feel like there might be some tweaks you might need to make to help everything flow better, and manifesting clients and customers. And but this is all about making a wish and staying positive and manifesting the miracles that you want. So thank you so much. Messages from my late partner. Here, dragon. Here, dragon. Late partner. Oh.
So the card that came out, and this is not a planet that everyone is familiar with, but it's the card for the planet Chiron. Chiron is a planet that is between Saturn and Uranus, and it's a smaller planet, and used to be considered to be like the asteroids, but it's outside of the asteroid belt. And back in 1950, I wouldn't say so much that it was discovered, but it was around the 1950s that it was officially designated as part of the one of the planets in the solar system, recognized as that. And from the astrological standpoint, Chiron is connected with the energies of healing, and has oftentimes been, because there were 9 planets and there are 12 signs in the zodiac, so there were some planets that co-ruled certain signs. But Chiron has become associated with the sign of Virgo, which has to do with healing. But the mythology of Chiron in Western mythology is that Chiron was a centaur who had incredible healing abilities, and he had a partner, and his partner was the one who, so Chiron had been blessed by the gods and goddesses and had been dipped in this river of immortality, so that if in any way he was wounded or whatever, he could heal himself up to a certain point. But in order to be dipped into the river, the goddess had to hold him by the around his foot and dip him in, and hence he had a weak spot known as the Achilles heel. It was his Achilles heel. And so when people say, "What is your Achilles heel? What is the weakness?" And his partner was one who could, if he was severely wounded, could help heal him. So there was this sense of this partnership. And what I'm getting from what you're asking, the message is, this is this acknowledgement of the incredible connection that you and your late partner had. Also, Chiron is connected to past lives and past life connections, and also a lot of times a projection into the future. So this was not your last time together. There will be other times of coming together as well. And what I'm seeing on this card, and it's hard to see because it's a small image, but the image is of 2 snakes intertwined, a dark snake and a white snake. And the snake is the sign on the caduceus, the sign of the healer, and it's this intertwining of the two. And it's the sense of, with your partner on the other, being on the other side, that this is this energy, there's now this healing energy can be brought to you in a very personal way because of your connection, that your partner is bringing you the energy you need to heal yourself, and also to do healing work that you are choosing to do in this lifetime.
Deborah, when you said white snake, now all I can hear is "Here I Go Again on My Own" in my head.
Yes.
So the first intuitive hit that I got, oddly enough, I don't know if your partner was really into like Legos or building blocks, or maybe even like Jenga blocks. That was something that I picked up really, really quickly, and I'm not sure what it means. The first card that I got was the 6 of Fire. There's so much power in love, and I feel they are so immensely proud of you and all of your achievements, all of your accomplishments. Like your relationship was the best victory possible and is still the best victory possible. I know firsthand what it's like to lose a partner, and it's the worst thing one can go through. And I share what you're going through. The second card I got was, it's funny, I got the share card. And for me, this has never come up for me in a reading before. I'm getting a lot of nuances of winter holidays like Yule or Christmas or Hanukkah. I feel like even if you guys didn't celebrate actual like recognizable holidays, that time of year was very important, special to you, and you should never forget that. All you have to do is look at a decorated tree or snow on the ground or hot chocolate, preferably spiked, and just remember all of the love, all of the good times, and they'll be there with you.
Love that. So I also got a message of healing as well. So I got the 4 of Air, which is like resting and recuperating. And I feel like your partner is telling you for this month, like try to spend some time this month recharging. I think it's going to go a long way to help you. I think that you're like emotionally, physically, and mentally exhausted right now. So just finding ways to just like recuperate and rest, and giving yourself permission to rest. And then I got the 6 of water, which is also the 6 of cups in traditional tarot. And this is all about something from your past. Is there something you used to love to do that you haven't been doing lately? Because your partner's urging you to do it again, whether maybe it's like a crafting or activity, or maybe you used to go do something, or there's some kind of like pastime or hobby that you used to love that I feel that you're not really doing right now. And trying to bring that back into your life is going to bring you some more joy. And I'm also getting a level or getting a message, Archangel Zachiel, there's some kind of self-forgiveness that needs to happen on your end. So forgiving yourself for whatever that is. And then I got like that there is, you're going to kind of go through like an upgrade soon, where you're going to see things in a whole new light. Because I got the Awakening card. And I just feel like there's something coming where you're going to kind of reevaluate everything and see it from a different perspective, which is going to be good for your soul. I feel like it's going to bring more compassion towards your way, more love towards your way. So that's what I got.
I think it's interesting whenever any of us do tandem readings, when you see the similarities in the cards, even though the cards are completely different, like, you know, you got the 6 of cups, I got the 6 of wands. And then the 6 of cups also has, you know, the young boy and girl, and there's a young male and female fairy there on this deck.
I love that.
And trees. We also got trees as a common denominator, and I think that further emphasizes the message of those things.
Oh yeah, I love doing tandem readings because like when you both talk, I get hits. That's what I love. I love it. I get like, that's why I'm always like, just like she said, because I'm getting like those same hits. It's so fun.
Same.
So it's so cool. Okay, we have 2 left. So Paul, any message from mom, from Pa? So Paul, we can do one. We can do a message from one person. So do you have something to say, Shaun, or?
No, go on. Okay. Go on. Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's do mom. Is that okay? Instead of, because like then we'd have to pull it, you know, is that okay just to do one? Are you guys down with that?
I'm kind of feeling mom already.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Aretha Franklin in my head right now. I don't know why.
So it's interesting, the card that popped out is Mars, and Mars tends to be associated with masculine energy. But since we picked mom, my sense is either she was an Aries or she had Aries in her chart, because Mars is connected to Aries. And that between your parents, that mom would have been the one, if someone was going to speak up or get things, mom is the one who made things happen. She's like the one who's like made sure the actions, the steps got taken. And that the message is, so Mars has just moved out of Pisces, where it had been for about 8 weeks or so. And that energy, Pisces is very much, as we talked about Mother Mary again, and that sort of felt like an affirmation. But Mars just earlier this week moved into Aries, and that energy, it feels like the energy from mom is saying, it's time. There's something. There's something. Paul, that you're hesitating to take a step. There's some action you're hesitating to take, action or step towards. And she's like, you don't need you know what I would tell you. You know what I would tell you, son. Go, take the step. Doesn't have to be a big step, and if you're not sure, you can take one step in that direction and see what happens. But do not be afraid to keep moving forward, even if you kind of, okay, this didn't quite work, so I'm going to move this way. But to continually take steps to move forward with intention, but not impulsively.
Yeah, I also got some similar cards. So speaking of Aries energy, we've got the Two of Fire. And you know, they're holding up the nice. And on the card directly it says taking the next steps, you know, which I think whatever you're planning to do, it's important to continue to move forward. Was mom really religious? Or was she like very stubborn and that had to be her way or the highway?
Just wrote yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. I feel that now she's mellowed out a lot, you know, because she sees more of the bigger picture. And she also wants to remind you that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be unique. And, you know, you're your own unicorn, you know, to quote our friend Joanna. It's okay to be who you are, you know, and I don't know if she could always tell you that in person while she was here on this plane, or if she sometimes held that back, but she wants you to know right now, it is completely okay to be who you are. And she's very, very proud of you.
I got very similar messages. So the first card I got is the Chariot, and she's really proud of all the hard work you've done. Very proud of just your determination, your willpower. And maybe she didn't, I don't know if she always was able to tell you that when she was here, but there's just like a ton of beaming pride. Like she sees you as like this bright light. I feel like she sees you as like this sensitive, like you're a very sensitive person too, because I'm getting Archangel Metatron energy and just like a sensitive soul. But she's just really proud of you. And I got take the next step as well. And I even feel like there might be in this next step, it might be like partnering up with somebody. Because I was really focused on the two partnerships. Like there might be like somebody that can help you with whatever you're trying to do right now. Whether it's like finding a recruiter to help you find a job or finding somebody to do like a business together, whatever you're planning to do, there's somebody that can help you make that happen. So ask her to bring you that person, ask your spirit team to get you connected with that person and to, you know, move the chess pieces so you meet them. Ask Archangel Raguel to bring them to you. And
I'm also getting with that card too, just since it came up twice.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about it. And then since it came up twice, there's sort of, that's validating to me. I think that is kind of weighing in here too. I don't know if mom and dad were like always on the same page, but I feel like that what the messages from mom and dad is, we are teaming up to support you. They also, there is also the partnership energy for this, you know, for you, Paul, on earth. But I also feel really strongly that mom and dad just want you to know that they're a team now and they are teaming up to support you.
I love that. And I feel like when you take that next step and you take that next step, that everything's going to work out beautifully. Because I got the King of Earth, the Midas touch, things working out wonderful. So just figuring out what that next step is, asking them to, asking your mom and dad to help you and bring it together so that you can do what you need to do. But this is an awesome card. I love it. This is a really nice reading. So thank you. We have one more. My question is, what my divine source or ancestors of light want to say through the readings. Okay. Ancestors. Anito I'm sorry, I'm butchering it, is joining us from France.
Ooh.
So fun. We had France and Australia in the house today.
We've gone global, people. We've gone global. Oh, of course.
Divine source ancestors. That again. Do this again. Divine source of ancestors.
So I'm going to start because this card really has a lot to say. So of course we're coming from France, and French culture is known for having such an appreciation for the finer things in life. And the card that we have, and I was hoping she would show up, is Venus.
Ooh.
This card is beautiful. I love it. Venus is one of the planets that is like, you guys do your thing in Aries. I already went through there, cleaned some stuff out, that did all the fire purging, cleansing, getting rid of all the clutter and the things, and letting go of the emotions and everything else. And now now it's time to like rearrange the furniture and put everything in place and bring in all of the beautiful things. I think about in many areas where a lot of times sometimes at the end of the harvest season, or sometimes in the beginning of spring, there's a lot of farms near us here, and in where I am in New York, when I'm here in New York, and they will do like a controlled burn to sort of burn down the weeds or whatever, and that also and then they till the ashes into the soil to sort of nourish the soil as well. Not always, but in certain crops that they grow. So she's done that. Now she's in Taurus. Venus is very happy in Taurus. It's the luxuries of life. It's the comforts. It's safety, security, but it's even more than that. It's not just having a good meal. It's having your favorite meal, right? And having the dessert and having company with you, and a wonderful, whether it's wine or beautiful water. It's all of the wonderful things. It's all of the things that all the guides on the other side, when you talk about divine source and the ancestors of light, are like, wow, they're watching us on earth and going, yeah, right. Like when we on the other side, we don't eat macaroni and cheese and pizza or whatever, whatever the luxuries are. We don't have that wine there. We drink of the light, but the tangible earthly experiences of all of the things that are the best parts of being human. That's what Venus is all about. Venus is also about love and connection. And in Taurus is saying, how do you nurture yourself? What are you doing to nurture yourself? We have all collectively and individually been through a lot in the last decade, right? And it was just listening to our favorite professor saying, yeah, we kept saying after 2020, this year is going to be better. This year is going to be better. This year is going to be better. I think we've realized we're not going back to whatever normal was. And I think we're realizing we don't want to go back to whatever normal was, because it wasn't as fantabulous as we thought. But this Venus, moving into Taurus is all about find the good things in life. And this is not just find the blessing to be grateful. No, really find the beautiful things. Find the things that are that bring you joy, the simple pleasures, the luxurious pleasures. Do something special for yourself. In the classes that we used to do with Dougal, one of the things he did was when he would work with pink and joy, it's like, find something, if you love flowers, don't wait to have the perfect partner to buy yourself flowers. Even if it's just a small little bouquet at the grocery store. Do those luxury things to nurture and fuel joy in your life, particularly if you've been through, and I'm sensing there have been some challenges. I mean, it's not a far stretch to guess that anyone that would be here for readings would have gone through that. But it's this invitation to really experience joy. And sometimes it's hard when the world is going through things, and we're like, there's a war here and this is happening and there's this natural disaster. But if we are in the position where we are blessed to be able to experience joy, whether it's joy for a few moments or joy for an extended period of time, it behooves us to experience that joy, because when we experience it, we are amplifying it, and we are putting that vibration out into the universe for people to find and hang on to and access when they need it most. So this beautiful Venus energy is this invitation to really, say, what are the things that you love, and really allow yourself to nurture yourself with those things.
And to back up what Deborah said, the first card I got was the Queen of Air. Not Venus exactly, but very, very close. What's really standing out to me, this card, are two things. Number one, we've got the beautiful garden she's in. So I feel like it's really important to get out into parks, get out into nature, Not so much maybe wild nature, but more like, you know, something structured, like a botanical garden or a park or even the grounds of a museum, something like that. It's important to get out and embrace that. I also think it's very important. I don't know if you have a cord cutting practice or not, but it's very important to detach from the negative, you know, detach from the things that drain you, because none of that is serving you to hold that on. That is not your luggage to carry. And you need to just, you know, put that crap down. The next card, once again, more royal energy. We have the King of Water, or King of Cups in traditional tarot. Now here, I think this refers back to the Taurus energy that Deborah was talking about too. You know, I feel like the situations in life are going to get better. They're going to stabilize. They're going to be more safe. And that's what this does. Then from the Unicorn deck, I got the Exercise card. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to the gym or anything like that. What I see you doing, though, is maybe doing, you know, yoga in the park, or doing Tai Chi on the grounds of a museum, or, you know, like maybe just going for a long walk through a botanical garden. I do see exercise, but I think it's more about embracing the sunlight, embracing nature, embracing butterflies, embracing all of that stuff. That's what's going to feed your soul. But the movement of the body will get you more grounded and centered. So it'll be easier to detach from the things that don't serve you. And, you know, if you already have a gym thing and you want to do that too, that works perfectly well. But I see more of it being like something more low impact and around a lot of trees and flowers.
The first card I got was in Aunt Bradley Valentine's Animal Tarot. I got the Elephant, which to me usually is like, well, it's a Justice card, but I'm really focused on the scales. So that's telling me that you need to find ways to kind of balance things. Like if you might be feeling off balance right now, which I am too. So I totally feel you on that. So finding ways to kind of just get things back into balance. And there's some kind of new beginning coming your way. That's gonna so I don't know if you've recently had like a disappointment or a door closed, but whatever happened, there's opening a new door, and there's just like a new beginning that's coming. So just, you know, having courage and faith that things are going to get better, and that your ancestors and spirit team are trying to get you on that right path. So speaking of path, the next one I got is Chariot, and that's number 7, which number 7 is life path. So like your hard work's going to pay off. And like your spirit team and your ancestors are working to get you on the right path. So just trusting that, you know, whatever's happening is happening for your highest good, and that you're going to be on the right path very soon. So thank you all for coming. I have to go get my kids in a few minutes. So thank you all for coming. This is really fun. We always enjoy
great.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, and
thanks for coming.
Anytime you want to tap into the cosmos, let me know.
I just learned so much from you. I love it.
Although in May I will be in Japan, so the time with Dougal and a whole bunch of John and a whole bunch of people. So, but you know, periodically it's fun. It's really, and you know, to me, because I am used to doing astrology readings from something like this, which is the chart of the moment. This is what the planets were for our period of reading. So I'm used to like physically working with the energy and that works. But I've also worked with this deck, and the experience of doing this, and it was part of the reason why I wanted to go first, because I wanted to just like, what am I getting intuitively from these cards and these planets and where they are? And then to have you guys pulling cards and things that are really validating, it just says to me that it's you know, like so many teachers say, these are all languages of the divine. Tarot, oracle, runes, astrology, it's all just languages of the divine. It's just an affirmation that the divine wants us to know what it is we need to know. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. This was fun. Thank you everybody for coming. And if we didn't get your question, we're so sorry. Like Jackie said in the chat, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live. And thank you, Jackie, for jumping in and posting questions and posting our channels. You're the bestest. I love you, girl. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, guys.